Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural podcast for GFLCast. I'm one of your hosts, Okami Panda, and introduce you to the rest of the cast. We have Corsage,
Hey, what's up, guys?
Diablito,
Hello there.
Shima Pandering,
Hello, everybody.
TM Craze,
Hello.
and last but not least, our resident meme lord, Uzanagi.
How do you do?
Alright, so as we're starting off, you can see we are playing the opening mission for Girls Frontline. As one of the things that we're going to be starting off is some newbie guides, as well as be reviewing some T-dolls, followed up by a Q&A with just some general discussions as well. We're hoping this podcast is going to be informative and a great resource for everybody. But let's get to know the cast a little bit more. Well, I'll start off by myself. As you all may know me, I'm Okami Panda. You can call me Panda or Okami. I don't respond to NA very well, so I do apologize. And I can say that I started off playing this game at the end of Cube. I first learned about this game from Imager, of all places. Because I would. Yes, Imager.
That's
I would-
definitely a place.
What I would do is I'd be browsing Imager all day long because what else am I gonna do? I'm just gonna browse the entire time, and I would always see the ad pop up, Girls Frontline. I would just like, you know what? I'm tired of seeing this ad. I'm actually gonna try playing this game for once. So
Not
I
having
downloaded
ad
it.
block on the internet. What's wrong with you?
It was on my
Forehead.
phone. How was I supposed to know? So I downloaded the game. You're like, you know what? There's some cute girls in here. I'm gonna see what this game's all about. Like, okay, pretty standard. I got an introduction. I've got a first tutorial mission. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. There's a really good art in here. The chibis are adorable. And as you're playing the tutorial mission, they're weaving in the story. Because you can see here, currently, there's a lot of dialogue between M4A1 and M16A1. That story hooked me into this game because I wanted to know what happens to all these girls. Where do they go? When will we see them again? And then as we're playing through the mission, I saw what happens. Like the girls who are helping you, Scorpion, Papishka, and MP40, and was it STG? Yeah, it's STG. You see them. They clear that first wave. You're like, they can do this. But then a wave of scarecrows come out and they're like, oh my goodness, they just get wrecked.
And it's like, oh wait, we're only 2-star and 3-star girls. We're screwed.
Except Scarecrow gets beat by 2-star and 3-stars anyways.
Well,
True
I
enough.
didn't know that at the time though. When I first went in, there, I didn't know about rarity. I thought these girls were just cute girls who are helping you out. But seeing the scarecrows destroy these girls who's trying to cover our escape, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to get these girls out of here. And
By
like,
the way, the easiest boss.
oh, like I said, how was I supposed to know this? I didn't know this as a new player.
I
Hey,
mean, unless you're
most
playing
of us just
0-4.
started noobs.
Because I started this in July, but how about you, Corsage? When did you start, and how did you get into this game?
You know, I actually started around the same time frame as you. I started playing on the last week of Cube. I was originally a Fire Emblem Heroes player, and I didn't like some of the decisions that the developers made. So I started looking for another mobile game to play, and one of my friends recommended that I try GFL because it's similar to Fire Emblem Heroes. It's a gacha game, and there are PvE aspects. It's mostly just PvE, right? And after I started playing Girls Frontline, like you, I got really hooked to the story, and I started to do some more research. You know, looking at Korean guides because I'm fluent in Korean. And over time, just got really knowledgeable about the game, and I love to spread what I know. So that's why I'm here in the podcast. How about
Not
you,
enough
Diablito? How did you?
research.
Oh, okay. Okay, Shima.
I heard this game from a friend, surprisingly. Like, I didn't see no ads of the game before. And I was just in a car ride with my buddy, and I saw he's playing Girls Frontline on his phone. I was like, yo, what's that? He said Girls Frontline. I was like, huh? He said Girls Frontline. I was like, huh? Like, I was so confused because, like, he was doing a combat simulation. I could not understand what was going on at all. It looks cute. It looks fun. Let's try it out, man. So I downloaded it. First, I was like very confused. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I didn't know about links, echelons, strategy, basically everything about the game. I was confused, but I still had fun in the beginning.
I think we all had a lot of fun in the beginning because we're sitting there grinding out the story, doing all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you don't understand how scuffed I was in the beginning. Like, I had
Y-
almost
you
all
were
5
scuffed?
stars.
You
That's-
were
that's fair.
Scuff?
You were? Hello?
You know.
You've graduated. You've graduated from Scuff to what's something
Slightly
that a
less
little bit better
scuffed.
than Scuff? Less
Slightly
Scuff.
less
Shit.
scuffed.
Feels bad, man.
Right. And then we have Shima pandering. What about you?
I don't use I don't recall exactly when I started, because I guess I'm the only one that didn't start after Cube or during Cube. I started like probably a month before, I guess. I don't know. And I basically, let's see here. Most of my information I got from 4chan, I'm gonna be honest.
That's a dark place.
Or Chan.
/GFG/ by the way.
Yikes.
Omega lol.
And then
But
we have
overall, I didn't make too many mistakes. I was in core hell for like 2 months straight. But other than that, I
Alright,
don't
I'm
think
already
I made
triggered.
too many.
yeah, Core Hell. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in Core Hell. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Imagine not having cores. Omega lol.
Okay, guys. we can stop with the core jokes, okay?
And then
It's
we have,
just funny because Corsage is in core hell.
yeah,
Oh,
he
wait.
had like a 48 cores last check.
I've 61 right now.
800. Don't-
400.
Don't worry about it.
I'm at about 700 right now.
Not having 3-digit cores.
Boys. Okay. Now
Alright.
then.
Too
for
much
me-
flexing.
Oh, I'm gonna be flexing all over you, Shima. I'm sorry.
Oh god, not like this. But for me, probably actually the oldest one, but also probably the one that has like the least like knowledge about the game. I started in 2016. I started when Girls Frontline only had the Chinese server, and that was kind of not fun.
Oh, why
'Cause-
not?
Look, you're gonna tell me that that running around in a game that you have no idea what you're doing is fun?
Well, you
That's
can't
fair.
understand it, but you can know the mechanics, and you see the cute girls.
Yeah, but I guess the theory crafting wasn't there yet.
Yeah, because
Right.
you can't
Nope.
see like
Not as much
skill
resources.
descriptions.
I can't read shit. Hello, dude. We had. I know there's tier lists, but bro, like, nobody knew that flare was good back then. Nobody knew that car was good. Nothing nothing was established then.
There were no guides at that time. There was nothing. We don't have all the amazing resources we have now, like the wiki, Hellion bot, and all the discords. All those tools didn't exist.
Yeah, and then there's a guy, and then the last member of our group actually got introduced from his Taiwanese friends. Isn't that right, Yuzu?
Yes. So the first time I heard of GFL was from a friend, and ironically, he wanted me to play the Taiwanese version of Girls Frontline. So there's 2 points that threw me off when he recommended me this game. First of all, I looked at it and it looked like a Kantai Collection clone. And I was a longtime Kantai Collection player. So looking at this game kind of like threw me off because I was like, I don't want to go back to, Kantai Collection. The second point was, it was in Taiwanese. And I don't speak that language and I can't read Chinese. So I'm like, if I can't understand the lore, I'm not playing it. But then he was like, oh, I heard English GFL was coming out in a week. So why don't you give it a shot then? So as you know, I'm one of the day one players, and the
Oh.
thing I have over these 5 other
All
casters
right.
Oh
is
yeah,
I
yeah, you missed
have
a 5 digits
5-7.
UID.
Well, I got 5-7, so 5-7 Hoxie.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Weird,
you and your yeah, that's not Hoxie at all.
weird flex, but
What do
okay.
you mean?
I know that because they're all of us. For those who don't know, all of us except Uzanagi have 6-digit UIDs.
I have a
Uzanagi was a
5.
is a 5.
Craze has 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, then my bad then. Because I'm
Most
I'm in
of
the
us have 6 digits.
300,000s.
Yeah, but Craze doesn't have 5-7.
Yeah, I know. It's still Hoxie.
You guys should check your
None of
drones
us have
better.
5-7
will-
except for Yuzu, right?
She'll come back though. She'll come back. She's too good to not return.
5-7 win.
Speaking of Smith dolls, as we all know, this is a waifu game. I think just about all of us have our own favorite T-doll in this game. So just to get to know the cast a little bit more, I think we should all explain who our favorite T-doll is. As you guys know, my favorite is Type 64. She's a SMG 2-star girl, and I thought she was the first girl that I looked in this game that I thought was really cute because I got her early on, and she seemed just like waifu to me, and I stuck with her ever since. And
I'd
she's
be
just a
surprised if
cutie.
you didn't get a 2-star early on.
That's true. But she also has some very cute outfits. She has very cute outfits if you look at them, like the witch outfit, as well as the water gown, which is the summer one. Those are very cute outfits.
No man, everyone know the best girl is MP40.
All right,
And
explain
another
yourself.
Come on, bro. She got
we're
the.
both 2-star
no.
SMG brothers.
It's unlike your Type 64. Get out of here with that. MP40 got the hat, the Gucci hat,
Oh.
the Supreme
The
hat,
Type 64
$1,000
gets a
hat. Like,
Yeah. Well, she gets like
Her witch outfit.
The
She wants
fight
a hat.
between fascism and communism right now, I guess.
all right, look, man. We don't talk about what faction she's affiliated with. All right, we don't have to talk about that. We just know that she's cute. That's it.
Is that the only reason why you like her?
No,
Is there a certain skin you're looking for?
not at all. Not that I recall.
One that's never going to be released, at least.
I'm always gonna.
By the way, it's the lolly skin.
All right, well, guess I'm going to jail.
Resident lolly lover.
Nice knowing you guys. Nice knowing you guys. I'm going to jail now.
Hey,
Feels
that's
bad.
my title.
Going
Oh
to
yeah,
jail.
that is true.
What about you, Corsage? Who's yours?
My favorite T-doll is currently unreleased in the English server. You might know her as PX4. She recently got a Life 2D skin, which I'll be saving up for 5,460 tokens. Let's fucking go, man.
There's no way in hell I'm gonna save that many tokens. Like, I only need 1,000 for MP40. Like, she doesn't have a live 2D, unfortunately, Pepe hands. But maybe one
I
day.
need a lot of tokens for my Raifu's diving suit skin.
Just whale forehead. It's that easy.
Duh.
And who's yours, Shima?
The one and only AN94. I love her as a gun, and she's a cutie. 3.14 pi. She's great.
As a
She's
bonus,
like-
she also out DPS is G11, which is
Yeah,
actually pretty.
she's
nice.
also like top tier meta.
Yeah,
AR.
she does very well later on. When we get it, of course.
Which will be for like what 2 years.
Okay,
Eh.
no, not 2 years.
Also, let's be honest here. Like she may have kind of gotten shafted in the swimsuit gotcha in CN with having like a scuba diver suit, but I think it works for her character.
I like that skin a lot. I don't know what you
Yeah.
mean.
I
I do
haven't
too.
seen it. I'd have to
It's-
go
it's
check it
grown-
out.
It's grown on me a lot since it was released. I was kind of disappointed at first, but it's grown on me a lot.
And we have Craze. Who's yours?
My wife is dead.
Oh, well, that's that is well. You just ruined our fun for half the rest of the stream.
I mean, to be fair, it's UMP40. She's literally dead. End of story. What else do I have to say?
I mean, the important UMP40 is dead. It doesn't mean
That's
all
true.
UMP40s
That's
are dead.
true.
Oops, spoilers by the way. Spoilers. All right,
blame
so
Praise.
let's not get into that any further. Speaking of dead or dying waifus, Yuzu, what about you?
Wait a minute.
Oh boy.
So, on contrary belief to most of you guys on Twitch who, follow my memeing, Hanging is not my waifu. My waifu in this game is actually Ribby. I actually have 4 of her leveled. The 4th one is almost level 100, so I'll be leveling a 5th one when I get her soon.
Seriously? Why do you have so many?
Why not?
You gotta flex.
Well,
Dude, waifu.
See, unlike some people in our cast, my waifu is actually useful.
Oh,
Ooh.
Says
I
you.
feel like that was like who was that directed at? If you don't mind me asking.
3 people.
The ones with 2-star waifus.
I'm
Hey.
carrying. What are you talking about? MP40 Exodia? It is actually 5 head.
Well, we know it's not me he's talking about since mine's top tier meta.
Same, am I right?
Well, we have
yeah,
what
that's
we
true.
need. We've got if we could have a 6 girl echelon, we would have 3 SMGs, 1 handgun, and then we have 2 ARs. So I think that could be a functional team. We might have to cut one of the SMGs though.
A
But so
fairly dysfunctional team, to say the
Well, considering one of the SMGs is already dead, so we have 5 girls that we can put into an actual team.
Hey, I didn't say. Hey, I'm only allowed to shit on my wife. What the fuck?
So we could set that up as a team. We'll put that as a logo later on. Just put those 5 girls.
Didn't you see the contract craze? Part of the clause is that we get to shit on your wife all the time.
God damn it.
Okay. All right. So, now that all the introductions are out of the way, let's get into actually some guide and content information. All right. So, we're going to be starting off with some newbie tips and tricks, and just some general things that newbie should be aware of, because all of us have made mistakes playing this game. Corsage, I know you're not perfect. You were saying like, I made no mistakes playing this game when I started. None.
Alright.
And you're like, yeah, did you ever rage craft?
Core hell, by the way.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Imagine
But,
not having cores. This post is made by the core gang.
So, Diablito, since you are the newest member of Girls Frontline out of the 6 of us, what are things that you ran into when you were a newbie?
Well, you see, the first echelon, when I started, it was special, to say the least. I had
Did you put like your ARs on the front line, your SMGs in the back?
I had around I had 5 stars, I had machine guns. I did everything wrong in the beginning. I was hardcore griefing in the beginning of Girls Frontline. Because of that, since 5 stars and 4 stars used a bunch of cores, I was forced to use only a 2-star team, which is how, surprisingly enough, I found my font for MP40. Since I had to use the 2-star girls to carry through the story because I literally couldn't upgrade my 5 stars.
Now, I'm curious. You said your friend got you into this game, right?
Yeah.
So, did he not help you? Was he just like, let DF fend for himself? We all gotta learn sometime.
Pretty
If you look at
much.
your formation on screen right now, you're using the B formation instead of the F formation.
Can we get an
trying
F in
to.
chat, boys?
Like, he literally told me, good luck with the game, dude. I was like, sure.
Yeah, I should put a B in the chat for B formation, or
Please,
F
better
formation
than
is
F.
superior.
Bro, what is
Cat's
this?
gotta vote. B formation
Yeah.
or F formation. Go,
So
go.
yeah, this is actually a
Oh
legit
my
thing.
God.
Is B formation or F formation better?
Imagine
Cross.
using the F formation. This post is made by the B formation gang.
Cross formation? Ooh. I
love
see a lot of B's in there. There's a lot of votes of B.
Personally, I say T formation.
Well, that's only good if you have like a shotgun in the front and
Shut up.
then 3 machine guns in
Don't
the
judge
back.
me.
Well, we are here to judge.
Oh,
We are all
Not
here.
me.
Did you really
Finally.
put an MP40 right there, dabbing in the middle, Diablo?
I have
He's
to show
already
my
gone
girl
for the
some love.
MP40
He's already putting the MP40 on stream.
I have to show my waifu some love. Come on now.
He's already trying to Exodia.
He's already promoting his waifu over ours.
I had to do it to him. What else can I say?
Well, you shouldn't be leveling one team, Diablito, because if you try to focus on leveling more than one team, you're gonna have a bad time. Because when I was leveling, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some research, because I'm thinking new. And like, oh, I need a handgun rifle team to get it later on. So as I'm playing the game, like, oh, I'm gonna make a handgun rifle team, start leveling it up. And then I realized leveling a handgun rifle team through the storyline is not a good idea. It did not do very well.
Also, I'm pretty sure just all of us have had a bad time in the early game.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me about my.
I think
my
my
core
starting
class.
squad. I think my starting squad was Foul, M4, G41, UMP45, and Shrimp.
Oh well, the UMP45 is good.
I
No, none of that was good. It was all 4 and 5 stars.
That's what I said. The UMP45 was good.
Like, I literally had an M2 HP in my starting echelon. It was terrible. I had a
Well, she
machine
did the
gun,
big
rifle.
damage, right? But
Yeah,
each round-
but my ammo, you know, it got Thanos snapped. Just non-existent, dude.
That was
No
all of my
ammunition.
resources later on.
Can we just address chat for a bit? Fuck, like, okay, Uzi, hello.
Really just waifu wars.
yeah. Don't use Uzi. I even though she's got huge tracts of land, I don't recommend using her because of her tile buffs. Because
She's a
as an
hypocrite.
SM, and she only buffs what's above and below her when she needs to buff the ARs that are behind her. Because if you look at that, then she's only good with like what AK-47 who buffs what below her or something.
Yeah, and AS
So you could
Val.
have those two in the front line.
Shaking my head, chat. Come on, we're supposed to be educational here.
Well, it's good to have fun, and making up meme teams just like you can make a 5 handgun team. All the
Or-
girls have potential in this game.
Or
Some
an
have
all
more
grenade
potential
team.
than others.
Yeah, but 5 handgun isn't memey.
Oh, there's some, but all the girls in this game, there are. Diablito, stop showing up. Diablito, what are you doing to MP40? Alright, so all the girls in this game have use. You can use 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. You can use those to clear the storyline, and they're gonna serve you well. Each girl has a use. It's just how you make effect of that use is what's important.
Quick thing to mention here. What is it? Dia's actually doing the right thing and not and not skipping the tutorial. I know a lot of people do like to skip the tutorial, especially the ones that have played earlier, like in the past. But if you're a newbie, please to God, don't skip the tutorial, guys. Please.
Alright,
Get
I'm
out
gonna
of
be honest
get out
here.
of your ID card, yeah.
Well, I'm not doing
Oh,
nothing.
Yeah, we're gonna have a
Oh,
bunch of people. People are gonna add the GFLCast account now as a friend, and they're gonna get horribly depressed when they get 2 batteries and support echelon is 2 level 1 girls.
Well, that's their fault.
Guys, he literally typed MP40 is best girl.
If you don't add friends, you only have 2 dorms, and you don't have to worry about getting 2 batteries. Come on now. Just
Yeah,
add
add
10
friends.
dormers. Just add 10 dormers. It's that easy.
So I wanted, I want us to all to pick one girl that's a 2-star or a 3-star that could be good for a new player that they should pay attention
I
to.
might be a little bit biased on this one.
Okay,
Yes,
so
you
so
say.
you
say
you can
that.
pick her, but you have to defend your reasoning why. So why is this 2-star or 3-star a good one? So already in chat, we've got some great recommendations. F2000, IDW, which unironically, even though she's IDW, Danya, even though she's a little bit noisy,
Hold up.
she's actually a very good main tank SMG. We've got M4. I see a lot of M14s in the chat.
Hey,
FNC, yeah.
Scorpion. So I want you all to pick one. So Personally, I'm gonna go with M14. That's some low-hanging fruit. But first reason is because if you're a new player, you get her early on. Like she's part of your 7-day login rewards when you first start out. So there's real no excuse to get her. So she's a great gun that many people have early access to. So if you put in a team of 2 SMGs, 2 ARs, and 1 RF, which is her, she can help carry that team because she does great damage even without buffs. So Diablito, are you gonna pick your MP40 or who are you gonna pick?
Is that even a question? Of course I'm gonna pick my MP40, and here's why. She's
Okay.
cute. That's it.
Well, you gotta give reasons. Like, is she have good buffs? Is her skill good? Why is that?
Well,
He's
her
literally
buffs
talking about
are
his waifu.
a little bit, they're not the greatest, but her skill is pretty decent. Incendiary grenade, because if you hit it, you do damage. But here's the thing with that. In my case, at least, whenever I use MP40, she seems to like throw it into an empty area.
What?
Like there's a bunch of grouped up enemies, and there's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
she-
one single soldier on the other side, and for some reason, she throws it to the only soldier instead of the group. Just missing out on a lot of damage.
I
Well,
mean,
you just
that's
gotta
not just
make all the
her.
enemies bunch up. You gotta kite properly. Just just move your main tank into the 5 position, let them all bunch up, and then let it throw the grenade and move it back. Just gotta do a little bit of kiting there, Diablito. You'll be good.
Me using
Alright,
in-game
so
tactics? Come on now.
what about you, Corsage? What 2-star or 3-star would you recommend for new players?
I'm gonna be lame and say M14 as well. Not only do you get her from level up rewards, so duplicating her for demi links is cheap. But-
By the way, do not do what
Don't you-
Diablito is
don't
doing
you
right
do-
now.
don't you
Do
that.
not
Dia,
do this.
Dia,
Do
Dia!
not do not do this right here, chat. Do not
I
do
won't.
999 times 4. That is the opposite of helping. Everyone in
no.
chat is like,
Yeah,
no, and like, do it. So I'm gonna tell everybody, do not do that. If you're a new player and you don't know what you're gonna go for, I honestly recommend the lucky recipe. Or if you know you want specifically handguns or you want SMGs, then you can use those special recipes. But we'll get onto that later on.
Wait a minute.
All right, but so you said M14 as well, Corsage.
Heck yeah, M14 is really good. She sports the highest rate of fire out of all rifles in the game right now.
Okay, and then what about you, Shima?
All right, this is going to be a constant like thing you'll notice with me in terms of like country of origin. But one of my favorite 3-stars, and she was my favorite handgun prior to Spitfire releasing in the end, was Makarov.
Oh,
Russian bias.
It is kind of Russian bias, but not only is she adorable, has an amazing Halloween skin, but her skill is a budget well rod, which means she decreases enemy accuracy, but she also has a 96 base evasion.
oh wow, that's pretty good. For reference, that's at level 100, correct?
Yes.
That's compared to PPK, who is also an excellent 2-star. At level 100, PPK has 100 evasion. And-
Excellent 2-star. She's one of the only 2-stars you ever use in the 2-star category.
Speaking of PPK, level 1. That's
Yeah.
my recommendation.
Said PP.
Check out that damage art.
She does have a very good damage. She has a very good ability. She just destroys everything when that gets active.
But the damage art, though, that's what we play the game for.
Oh, the fan service. The fan service.
Okay.
Oh, okay then.
If we're talking about fan service, we gotta talk about G41, obviously.
Oh boy.
All right,
boy.
we're going to jail. Going to jail, everyone. Pack it up. We're going to jail.
Hey,
Oh,
my
I'm
fellow
using Gia, by the
cellmates.
way.
Let's go.
All right, so those are all things that we can all agree on. So next up, we're going to talk about some recipes. As you all saw Diablito in there going on about recipes, he's going to do that 9999 or 999. Terrible idea. Now, The first recipe that's pretty basic is the handgun recipe, which is 130 times 4 across the board. Just to get your basic handguns, you get your well rod, your calico, PPK. You get a lot of good handguns out of there. And Corsage, do you want to go in about the other recipe for assault rifles?
Assault rifles. I'd recommend 97, 404, 404, 90.
I'm pretty
And
sure
you
that's
can-
what everybody would recommend, though. Come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, depends who you're looking for. I mean, if you're looking for a ZAS M21, you can ask Shima all about.
Yeah, see the Zasahomate, vote now.
Talk about it.
Or G11. He's got so many G11s too, by the way.
He
I
has a
also don't wanna
lot of
talk about
G11s.
that.
But
He
there's
has a
one gun he
collection.
doesn't have.
But what
Don't
surprises
you
me
do it.
is you're not coring those G11s. You're actually
not.
keeping all of them.
I'm
You're keeping
keeping them as
every
a
single
meme.
one.
I have 9 G11s in my armory right now, and I'm keeping all of them as a meme.
All right, Shima. So you can do the SMG recipe, Shima.
What SMG recipe? What?
What's the
Oof.
SMG recipe?
I don't know.
Imagine not
Oof.
knowing every recipe. Come on now.
I use voodoo recipes. I don't use basic recipes.
Voodoo, more like voodoo.
So what
Aw.
do you just go into the factory, pull up recipes, and then or production recipes, and pull up SMG and just click one of those.
I mean, kinda.
Oh, okay. So
You
you
hate
choose
to
the
see
lazy
it.
route. Now, do you put your own voodoo on it, or do you use voodoo made by the people?
I use voodoo made by the people.
Mm.
It's worked for me so far, except for the one AR that I'm missing.
And
The one AR that he never gets.
oh, you mean the one that I got quite easily right after I got his sister?
Tommy, I will kick you live on stream. Don't make me.
Imagine not having a Type 97.
But
Shaking my
so for
head.
those of you who
Oh
don't know,
shit! Not like this.
Not like Blob.
Lito getting it on the the flex train. And then, so for those of you who don't know, the SMG recipe 400, 400, 90, 130, that's pretty basic, generic. And then we have the rifle recipe as well. Yuzu, do you want to go over that?
Well, I never used the rifle recipe.
See, I'm not the
Just
only one.
just because, as a resident meme lord and a Luxec, for some reason I got all my rifles from the 430, 430, 430,
Oh, the lucky recipe?
230 recipe.
Oh, the lucky recipe.
Yeah, so I never had any troubles pulling rifles. But if you want the rifles that I used to pull, IWS,
Ah,
it's,
you.
404, 131, 404, 233.
But
Some
I don't have to
people
use your
use-
recipe.
Some people
By the
used
way, Shima, check Nation's link.
some people used 99 ammo and 33 parts, but I feel like as a meme lord myself, and I believe in voodoo
Do it, you
magic,
bitch.
having extra parts gives
Careful,
better recipes.
Oh, so that's your voodoo? You think giving extra parts makes it better?
Of course, that's why I'm
Alright.
partless right now.
And then we have the machine gun recipes. Crazy, you want to go over that?
No, but I can go over handgun recipes instead because that's actually easy.
I already went over that one.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Oof! I don't roll for MGs. People know me for
Neither
this.
do
I
I.
don't roll this.
Really? Alright.
I'm too scared to roll MG recipes.
Why?
Because they use up so much resource. I'm a hoarder. Like, everyone knows this. I have like 100k of every resource. I'm scared to use it because I'm trying to
All
flex.
So
You can
see-
stop flexing your resources, dude.
It's the only thing I can flex on. Pepe
I say more,
hands.
by the
So-
way. 600, 200, 600, 400. I
It is-
still don't do it because it's literally the worst recipe in the entire.
I don't call it the machine gun recipe. I call it the SMG enhanced recipe
Yeah.
is what I call it. Because you get so
It's
many
true.
SMGs out of it.
This is also why Shima never rolls SMG recipes.
Yeah.
You probably
Also-
got all
Okay,
his
what SMG?
SMGs from.
I have
MG.
every SMG that's available from production, so that's why I don't roll SMG. If
I
we're
want to
talking about
correct.
MGs, then I don't roll them because it just
It's
it
not
never
effective.
works.
It's not cost effective.
I want to correct Craze's recipe for machine gun. The recipe that I use to pull all my 5-star machine guns, including MG5, cough cough, is 730, 630, 130, and 430.
Yep, the 430. That's a good basic recipe to get a lot of the machine guns. And by the way, Onia still does not have Stechkin, by the way. So that will
Hey
forever be
O'Neill,
a
where's your
meme.
Stechkin?
He doesn't have it. So let
One year I have 4
everyone in chat be
Stechkins. How does
known.
that feel?
You just do a handgun pool on stream right now, and we just pull a Stechkin just to see what happens. I doubt it, but that would be some salt in the wound for.
Let me just screenshot me scrapping a Stechkin real quick. Hold on.
But
No,
why?
don't do that. That's terrible.
Oh.
That's a terrible thing to do. Then again, Nation 87.
Oh,
Uh,
All right. So I think we went over a lot of good basic things for newbies to get out of that. So we can go to the next point now. So the next segment that we're going to be reviewing now is we'll be bringing into attention 2 T-dolls. The first T-doll is already on screen, which is Nagant Revolver M1895. She's a good little girl. She's the first T-doll that every commander gets. And Diablito, you can pull her up. Thank you. So if we got a little slide with some basic information on it.
Bam! Look at
Well,
that quality.
yeah, I know. It's like there's a GIF in there. I mean, who do we know in the GFL community that makes GIFs, right?
yeah, me.
Okami.
I make them all.
Yeah,
Yuzu,
I
man.
mean,
It's
Yuzu
Yuzu.
made some gifts too.
Yeah,
No.
right O'Neill, it's Yuzu.
yeah, it's Yuzu. Yuzu makes the GIFs. Yeah, he makes all the GIFs.
Yeah, all of them.
All right. So, in addition to just about the T-doll, yes, she is a little girl, as Duckley said, but she's also a very old girl. And Diablito, you picked out the wrong slide.
Hello?
What?
You put in the 1985, not the 1895 one.
A Pega.
You messed it up.
Typo.
So for those of you who don't know, the name is indeed messed up. We had it corrected later on in another slide, but it looks like you've got to get it updated. But so
Why
just
do you
it's
even
M
have
eighteen
that
ninety five.
in OBS?
By
Because
the
I have
way,
dyslexia.
by the way, it's not Dia's fault. It's a certain gift maker's fault.
Hey, I
Yeah, right,
updated.
boy.
I updated after we did our reviews. It is in there. I updated and put the new one in there, and we did talk about our editors. By the way, our editors are in the chat. We have Sia, and let's see, find the names in the chat here. I gotta find them.
Tama was here earlier.
But I see, and we have Tama11. That's another one of our editors, and we have Big Dragon, who's another one of our editors. Those are 3 of our editors. What they do as part of our Discord, by the way, if you haven't already joined the, you'll see the link in the panels below. You can click that link, and you'll be a part of the GFLCast Discord. That way, you know when we're gonna be releasing our next content, when next podcasts are gonna happen, as well as general guides and information. So it's a good place to hang out. And all right, so going on about it, besides some of the obvious typo, not only going to be reviewing the gun, we're also going to be going about the history of the gun because these are all real weapons. They had a piece. They're part of history. So M18 1895 Nagant Revolver is Granny. She is one of the oldest weapons out there, and Shima's got a lot to say about that if you want to listen to him.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
mess up the name again, Panda.
Call him
Yeah,
Mosin Nagant Revolver.
Don't you do it.
Call it.
You
I
already
call it
did
little.
do it. Hello?
All right.
No, I didn't call him. I didn't call him Mosin Nagant. I called it Nagant Revolver.
You call her little Mosin all the time,
She
which
is
is wrong.
she is little Mosin.
No, she's little
Mos-
Nagant.
She's Mosin Nagant's little sister.
Anyway, so this particular revolver is quite interesting, especially for the time frame. It's a double action revolver, which means it can be shot either while pulling back the hammer or just pulling the trigger. Interesting thing is it's a gas seal revolver, so as the hammer comes up to slam against the cartridge, the chamber and seals itself between the barrel,
Oh, audio cut
which
out.
causes no smoke to come out of it like you'd see from like revolvers from Hollywood. It also doesn't have any springs, and it also uses the same diameter ammunition, Jesus, as a Mosin Nagant. So they're quite interchangeable in terms of ammunition.
So essentially, she's literally the sister gun to the Mosin Nagant, because usually if you were given the Mosin Nagant rifle, you were given this as a sidearm.
We found M1985's adult form.
There we look at this. Oh wow, that is, yeah. She definitely grew up, and not only did she grow up, she also changed nationalities.
What?
And
Wait a
then
minute.
she's no longer a handgun. She is now a multiple rocket launcher system. So she's a rocket launcher now. She's
Mod
heavy
4?
artillery, boys.
Mod 4 poggers?
Not a mod 3, but a mod 4. Vehicle patch for Girls Frontline confirmed. Alright. So, enough about the history of the gun. Let's get into actually about her information and what she's good at.
Yeah, I can take that. So,
Alright.
the gun revolver has 70 health per dummy link, maxing at 350 health once she has 5 times dummy links. And her stats are 32 firepower, also known as attack or damage, 92 evasion, 46 accuracy, and 44 rate of fire. And if those numbers kind of went over your head, if you compare them to all the other 2-star handguns, she has not only the highest firepower, but she also has the second highest evasion. Of course, like, do note that this is out of 2-star handguns. So the only 2-star handgun that has higher evasion than the gun revolver is PPK that Yuzu mentioned earlier. But some of the other facts about the rate of fire and accuracy is that she sports the lowest rate of fire and accuracy out of all 2-star handguns. But her main job is really to buff your attack dealers, because her tile buff, as you see on the screen, gives at 5 times dummy link gives 32% additional damage and 16% additional critical chance. And due to her really good tiles, she's used mainly in AR and SMG teams, shotgun and machine gun teams. However, they're not really used in rifle and handgun teams. And usually, if you could explain why.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with the teams that she's okay to be used for. So first off, I want to start with the AR and SMG teams. So SMGs innately have high HP and evasion, minus some of the special cases. Therefore, reducing enemy damage means that they can tank longer. AR really benefits from the firepower and the crit buffs from Nagant Revolver, which is why you see a lot of teams have UMP40 as the SMG due to similar type. Yeah, UMP 45.
Ah, 45, okay.
Hey,
Due
thanks
to
for
similar
thanks
type
for
of
mentioning my waifu though.
I keep forgetting your waifu's dead, all right?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyways,
Ooh.
so for the SMG or for the shotgun machine gun teams, she's mainly used for 1 shotgun, 2 handgun, 2 MG teams. And the MGs that you will use her with are usually the MGs with high accuracy so that they can equip a crit scope. Examples would be PKP or a melee. And the firepower debuff from her skill helps the shotgun tank better, because of armor.
And Demise wants to bring up a point that the dodge right there, 92 evasion, does not mean she has a 92% chance of dodging. There's actually a calculation to calculate the percent chance to hits. I believe you guys were telling me it's accuracy divided by your accuracy plus the enemy's evasion is the percent chance that you're going to hit them, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct.
So that's the formula that's used to calculate them whether or not your T-doll will hit them or the enemy T-doll will hit you. But yes, math. And there's the Corsage just put the formula in the chat if you guys want to, if any of you guys are math wizards and you really like that information.
going back to math. And so so she's not really used for rifles and handguns, due to the fact that rifle has a 40% innate crit, and usually you want to use critical scopes on the rifles, VFL, if you're not familiar with the name. So that translates to an 88% crit for the rifles, which is roughly around 7 out of 8 shots being a crit. So Nagant Revolver giving the crit and fire buff at such a high crit rate gives diminishing returns. Handguns, on the other hand, as you know, have really low HP pool, so therefore decreasing firepower doesn't really help with tanking as much as it does with SMGs.
Yeah, really excellent points there, user.
Yeah, it's because handguns, the HP is just too low to take advantage of that fire power suppression debuff. Because if it's gonna take out the dummy link anyways from link protection, then it doesn't matter if it's reduced because it's still gonna take out one dummy link. So it's mainly there for those higher HP tanks such as submachine guns and shotguns.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking about Nagant Revolver now. Some of our uses is that she's not only, as we mentioned earlier, she is one of the first 2-star handguns that we get in the game, 2-star dolls, or just dolls in general. And they're recommended for commanders who are new to the game or those are in a tight core budget, such as myself. I've been leveling too many 5-star T-dolls.
Same.
But that's just gonna be my excuse.
Fair, everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Crab, my
Yeah.
cores are gone, Crab.
Still playing the game even though we have the slide up, aren't you?
Yeah.
I swear to God, Dia, if you get us into core hell on this account, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah, you do not go into core hell on that. Please do not.
Don't mind if I use them cores. Gimme.
Because people are actually gonna add that account and we're gonna we actually have to put a fair team onto it.
Fair team. The only thing I'm gonna put on there is a level 100 MP40. Come on now.
How are you gonna get it up that quick? You just started that account.
You underestimate my grind.
This is true. All right, so let's go on to the next T-doll then. I think it's safe to say we can all move on to the next one.
No, I have some other things to talk about.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, go ahead then. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you fixed it, Dia. You put the 1895 one up there now.
I'm 5 head. What are you? I'm quick.
He fixed it. He fixed it, boys.
No one noticed.
I snap my fingers and boom.
I'm just gonna stop you guys right now before this becomes a meme channel. So let's get back on topic with Nagant Revolver. Earlier, Yuzu mentioned her tau buffs being 30, or I mentioned them too, 32% increased damage and 16% increased critical rate. However, something else that we should mention is her skill, which is called Firepower Suppression N for Night. It decreases enemies, the entire enemy's firepower by 35% for 8 seconds during the night and 20% for 5 seconds during the day. And you might be thinking that Nagant Revolver should be used mostly during the night, but I'm going to tell you why she should be used during the day instead. So the reason why you don't want to use it during nighttime is because your assault rifles need to equip PEQs in order to mitigate the innate 90% accuracy debuff during night battle. So that means that if they aren't able to equip critical scopes, their base critical rate is 20%. And if you're buffing 16% critical rate to a 20% critical chance, you're only getting a 3.2% additional critical chance, which is very low. That's like around the same as a 2-star crit scope. And additionally, another reason why you shouldn't be using her during the nighttime is because her critical chance is also mitigated for when attacking armored units, because damage reduced by armor cannot critical hit.
Oh yeah, that's right. So if they can't get a crit off, then what's the point of that crit rate?
Exactly. Yeah, and now I'm going to pass things off to Yuzu, who's going to talk about some of the handguns that she's compared most frequently to. That being Glock 17 and Contender.
So, Nagant Revolver is compared to Glock 17 due to them sharing a similar skill. So Glock 17 skill is firepower suppression. It decreases enemy squad damage by 25% seconds. As you notice that this buff is not limited by the day and night, unlike Nagant revolvers. However, uh, Glock 17 tiles are not as desired as Nagant revolvers because her tiles are 64% accuracy and 30% evasion. Another thing to note about Glock 17 is that she's a rare boss drop from 1.6 and 1.4E.
One that I still don't have.
And then the next doll we compare with Nagant revolver would be Contender for their similar tile buff. Contender trades a 2% firepower buff for a full tile coverage buff, and her crit buff is 4% stronger than Nagant revolvers. This makes Contender, stand out more than Nagant revolver. Contender skill is Inquisitor bullet, and basically after taking aim for 1 second, she shoots a special bullet that affects 3 times the damage towards an enemy, amplifying the damage received by the target 40% and setting it as focus for 5 seconds. Depending on where a contender is, when she fires the shot in the front, middle, or back, the bullet targets the furthest, highest, or closest enemy. If there's a boss on the map, it always targets the boss. So that her skill is a mouthful, but the TLDR version is she shoots a bullet. Basically, dolls do 40% more damage to the enemy hit by the bullet. However, as many of you guys know from the raid up earlier this week, Contender is not easy to pull. She's one of
she doesn't exist.
she's one of
Basically.
the unicorns.
Just
So
like
don't be
RFB.
down. So don't be down if you don't have one. You can use Nagant revolver because she's free. That
She's-
covers up Nagant revolver. Next up, we got G11.
Oh, and before we
One that
go over,
I'm inherently familiar with, at least.
so another thing is, don't bother crafting for Nagant revolver. She is so common. You can just go through. You just play through a mission, and you're probably gonna get her because she's a very common drop.
I just
mean,
grind
don't worry
it
And
about
out.
also, if you're rolling for handguns, you're gonna get her anyways.
Probably, you're probably gonna
Yeah,
if you do use that recipe, the 130 times 4.
Does anyone inherently try and roll for 2 stars? I don't know anyone that does.
I mean, the game gives you one, so
All right, so now we're gonna go on to the next girl. It's also known as the Sleepo Beepo, HNK G11, or just called G11. She's a cutie patootie. She's another lolly as well, just like the Nagant revolver. She is part of the 404 squad, along with the UMP sisters, UMP 9 and 45, and HK 416. And she's a gun that, in real life, doesn't really quite exist, right, Shima?
I've told you this several times. She exists. She just doesn't.
But
She's
she
never
never,
used.
she's not got into actual combat though. This gun has never seen real combat.
She still exists though. Like she's been produced.
I mean, yeah, but she never really got past the prototype stage, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Why don't you elaborate on that?
Anyway, we'll talk about the doll that I have 16 dupes of.
16? I thought you had
yeah.
11.
No, you
No.
had 16. We already
I
clarified.
have a
this to
total.
you.
I've pulled a total of 16 G11s. Anyway,
You know half the chat is going to be yelling at you because for some people, she is a unicorn that will never get
I
her.
know.
So all of the
How?
people in chat may be very angry at you.
Dude, just get her. I have 4 of her.
Anyway.
I don't want. Get her away from me.
So G11 is a German assault rifle that is quite unique in several different aspects. First one that's always struck me as weird is that it's a front-fed magazine, which means you insert the magazine from the front end of the rifle, and the chambering mechanism is at a 90-degree angle to the barrel, and then it switches 90 degrees into the barrel when it shoots bullets. its rate of fire is so high that it can unleash 3 rounds before the user actually feels the recoil of the first round.
So that explains the extremely high rate of fire then, because in real life that gun had very high rate of fire compared to other guns. Okay, so that's good. If you look at her stats, elaborating on more for that. So she has at level 100, she has 605 HP, which is at 121 per link, and she has very low damage. Actually, of all the 5-star assault rifles on EN, she has the lowest damage and accuracy, but that gets supplemented by an extremely high rate of fire, 95.
And her skill.
Her skill further elaborates on it. I think looking at her, the attention is she does quantity over quality, because at 95, that's very high. The second highest rate of fire is G41, aka Homate, who's at 77. And G41 is one of the most well-balanced assault rifles in the game. So G41, I mean. Homate is very well-balanced, just good all-around good assault rifle that we may do another feature on later on. So with G11, she buffs SMGs as of all assault rifles, with the exception of 3 certain ones: M4A1, Ribby, which is Yuzu waifu, and AUG. Those 3 will buff other assault rifles. And she gives SMGs plus 10 evasion and 30%. Now, if you notice, she only buffs 1 tile in front of her. So that doesn't give her much room to support a full, on team. So what I do when I put her on an AR SMG team, I put her in the 7 slots and have her buff a off tank, such as Vector or Shrimp, some high damage off tanks.
MP40. She's an off tank.
Shut up, Tia.
Well, I guess you can buff MP40's fire grenade, her incendiary. You can do that if you want to make MP40 a damage dealing beast. But as Twiggy does bring up another thing. She has shellless ammo, which is another thing that you brought up, Shima, earlier, before the podcast. Is
I
that she has
actually forgot
caseless
about it.
ammunition? Oh well, bring it up now. She uses caseless ammunition. Most ammunition they have casings. Her ammunition, you said, they super glue or plaster something on the back of it,
It's basically gluing primer onto the back of the bullet.
and that just propels it forward.
Yeah.
So I can see why that wouldn't be a practical sense, because if you need to share ammunition with a buddy who has a different gun, unless everyone has a G11, if everyone has different weapons, then oh, here, use my ammo, but you can't, because your ammunition requires casings, and my ammunition doesn't. So for a military standpoint, that doesn't seem very logistical to have your ammunition be not interchangeable for a lot of weapons.
I mean, my opinion is that it was probably too hard for normal military personnel to maintain and repair, as well as just the cost of building.
Oh, so when they made it, she couldn't be mass produced like other assault rifles.
Yeah, it's probably more or less what it was. The G36 is much more simple in terms of functionality.
And much more easily produced, because again, in war, doesn't it goes to the lowest. You were in the military, right, Chima?
Yes, it was.
So as you know, the job for contracts goes to the lowest bidder, right?
No.
No, not always.
No. Basically, the military finds out what fits their needs the best, and then whoever's making it just throws out a random number, and the government's like, okay, we'll pay that much.
Oh, okay.
Like as
Right,
an
so-
example, I had to order a piece of plastic for my my command one time, and it was $100 for a circular piece of plastic.
What the?
Jeez. Yeah, that's okay, we'll go on. All right, so the next thing is, as we were talking about earlier for assault rifle recipes, if you go to the Girls Frontline database, baka.pw statistician, I'll just copy and paste the link here. I just posted a link in chat. That's the database that you can use to find crafting. So if you want to figure out the odds of getting a girl from a certain recipe, Last I checked, the top recipe to get G11 is 97, 404, 404, 97, which is funny because her timer is also 404 and she's part of team 404. So I think that's a little nod in there that Mika team put in to just a little nod to say, hey everybody, if you want to use 404. So we already know that she's good for an AR SMG team buffing the off tank, but I wanted to do something else with her. I wanted to put her into a Exodia, as you would put, as we all know. It's commonly known as the Bastion of Sleep. And Diablito, you want to move to that slide?
You getting on it?
All right, there we go. So for this one, I have G11 in the 4 position. So, oh, I should go over this. So if you noticed for the positions on the screen, there are 9 spots on the tic-tac-toe board. Whenever we refer to positions, we go over them as in like, if you look at your number pad, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We use this as a reference. So G11 would be in the 4 position right there. SAA, Colt Revolver is in the 7, MK23 in the 8, Well Rod in the 5, and Grizzly in number 2. So after all the buffs, this is just the native buffs, just from the girls by themselves. When arranged properly, G11 gets 110% damage, plus 1% damage, plus 16% rate of fire, and plus 50% accuracy. Emphasis on the accuracy and damage, as those are her main weaknesses. So the point of this Exodia is to make her as effective as possible. Now, when those skills activate, because if you notice, all these skills that buffer have a 6-second initial cooldown, including G11's Eye of the Assaulter skill, which is the 3 hits per shot for 4.5 seconds. So when the 6-second timer rolls out, all the girls activate the buffs. And assuming that G11 has a plus 20 maxed out high velocity ammo, we're looking at base, so we're looking at 132 damage. And then with the skills active, that's 174 during the day and 183 during the nights.
Also,
So she is
it's
sitting
not
there.
plus 20. It's max. It's max calibrated.
Oh yeah, max calibrated. It's plus
And
20, but
enhanced.
it gives plus 20 damage. My apologies. But so it's plus 10, which is fully calibrated, and everything gives plus 20 damage. So she's sitting there activating her Eye of the Assaulter skill, 3 shots per shot for 4.5 seconds, just clearing through people. Now, if you put this at night, which is her main weakness, because with her low base damage, she is not effective against armor. She's actually very poorly against armor. And yes, Contender would be a very good replacement. As they put it, SAA instead. You replace SSA with Contender, you could probably do that very well.
But she's rare.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing.
she's rare. She's a unicorn.
You have to
But,
get
so I
her.
put this in with what other people have.
Imagine getting a contender. I can't relate, man.
And like I said, the point of this is just try to put her into position where it's covering her weakness. I understand this is not the most optimal setup, but something to make it fun, make her try to cover her weaknesses and make her do something that she normally wouldn't do. And it's still an emphasis of her main thing, which is quantity over quality. Oh, and
Can I add
Night
something to
G11.
G11?
Oh, what's
Sure.
up?
I just want to add that G11 is not very useful during night. I'll explain why. So, first, her skill, what her skill does is instead of firing 5 bullets at 5 times dummy length, she instead fires 15 now. However, the problem with that skill at night battle is that if you're facing an armored enemy, that armored enemy is going to mitigate 15 times its armor as whenever G11 attacks it, instead of the normal 5 that other ARs currently in the English server have. Additionally, her accuracy is not very stellar, so even equipping with a PQ will not cause G11 to handle scouts very well. I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah, sure, I agree. With the Exodia, she will not handle scouts very well. Like she won't handle them at all, especially with that setup. But like I said, just there to make fun with it and try to make it into something really awesome.
Yeah, if you want to use ARs in night battles, they're night specific ARs that are very, very good.
Yep, there's better ones
Well-
such as Groza, as well as the Night Princess 9A91. They're known as the Night Queen and Night Princess, respectively. All right, and I think that wraps it up. So, Diablito, you want to go back to the game?
Of
What
course.
game?
Girls
Okay.
Frontline.
Oh, you know he's playing on the Newbie account still.
Mhm.
Oh, and yes, Sia is correct. This is not a meta team with that G11 Exodia. That is just a low-cost farm. It's just something just to make it fun and funny.
Oi, oi,
Uh,
oi.
It's a meme team.
We don't, Renzi, we don't talk about this. That doesn't exist in EN yet, okay?
Yeah, we don't. Unfortunately, we in EN don't have as much with like all the stuff that you guys have, such as fairies, many other things. There's also the current meta in EN does favor G11, but we know that later on she does get rolled out and replaced. So it's like AN94. She gets and then takes a spot.
I thought you said the CN meta favors G11, and I was like, what?
No, no, no. The EN meta favors her.
Yeah, I misheard. But I was just kind of confused at first.
All right, so now we're gonna go on to another topic now. This is what we call the Hoxie salt. We're all hoxy and salty about things that have happened, aka recent rate up. Ah,
Oh, boy.
yes. This is the Hoxie cast now. We Hoxie boys.
I think me and Dia have had the worst of it.
Renzi,
I dropped 50
Bless.
bucks. 50 bucks to try to get RFB. I didn't get nothing. All I got was actually no. During the raid up with RFB in it, I didn't get a single one of the new dolls. I just got a bunch of
RP is
dupes.
supposed to be rare.
Yeah, I be all I paid for was for cores, man. I'm still tilted about it.
Type 97 isn't even like very useful, all right? And I spent over 200 contracts trying to get her.
Well, I can say when I was pulling for ARs, I got RFB, and then after I got a 350 time, I was like, oh, what's this? I finished it up and I was like, oh, it's Type 95. And immediately after, I got another 350 timer. Like, oh, what's this? Used another quick production contract and I couldn't skip it. It was Type 97. I got them both back to back.
Then he proceeded to ping me in Discord about it.
Imagine getting the dolls you want. This post was made by Mika Team. Feels
Rado was
bad.
pretty kind.
Feels
So-
bad.
Do you guys think rate up is a lie? Is rate up a lie?
Oh, definitely.
Of
I
course
don't
not.
think so.
I don't
got-
roll it up, so I don't know what you're talking
It was this time.
Well, rate up has always been kind to me. Like when we had the Sat 8, my second pool was Sat 8.
All right. But Okami, you got to realize that new girl rate up is different than general rate up.
Well, you got a lot of 4 stars, didn't you?
I got like 200 cores out of rate up, right? I don't want to
So,
talk about it.
so you did get some. You got a lot of you got a lot of MP5s and
I got a lot of
other girls.
416s.
So there you go. So you did technically get a lot of 4-star and 5 stars, more than you
I
normally
got
do.
6 asses. I got 4 RFBs. I don't want to talk about this.
But no Type 97.
No, did you get any Type 95s though? Oh yeah, you got a bunch
got
of Type 95s.
4 Type 95.
He got debated by the 350 timer. All right. So, in addition, so the help recover from the salts, coming up in the next couple days, we're going to be having the rescue event, and most of it is all most of it's machine guns, with the exception of IWS. I think they're actually all machine guns, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pull up the list here.
It's chapter 1 is G36. Chapter 2 is I think
IWS, by the way.
chapter 2 it was what was it? PK. Chapter 3 was MK48. Chapter 4 is IWS. You guys aren't gonna get her, by the way.
Yes,
Chapter
I am. The 4-6 is a one-turn map.
It's a one-turn map.
But have you
Yeah,
seen
it's
the
a
drop
one-turn
rate
map.
Pepe left? Chapter 5
Does
is
it matter?
PKP, and Chapter 6 is Negev.
Because I had this horrible suspicion that IWS was going to be on the Chapter 7 map. I'm so glad they put her on a one-turn map that you can farm and corpse drag. Because after I get my IWS, assuming I get her, I'm going to then start farming MK48, and then I'm going to go for a PKP.
I'm looking forward to getting that negative.
I
Since
just
I
need
don't
to
have
give an
one yet.
IWS and Mark 48. That's it.
You don't have, yeah, sorry, you don't have those, do you, Shima?
You don't. Those are the only 3 out of
Actually-
the rescue event that I don't have.
I'm basically doing everything. Once I get one, I'm going on to the next because I don't have mostly all of those dolls. Pepe.
Well, now's your chance to get them. You can get them. Because I was honestly thinking, like, I'm glad that people picked machine guns because machine guns are terrible to pull for. It's, as we discussed earlier in the stream, it's not a machine gun recipe, it's an advanced submachine gun recipe that you may get machine guns out of.
You know what I realized though recently about this rescue is it's
What?
just disguised rage crafting.
Hey, it's a time when we are allowed to rage craft,
The
in
only
my
difference
opinion,
is we
because
don't use T-Doll tickets to do it. But the resources are about the same.
well, it is, the resources are about the same. That is correct. And by the way, everyone, if you haven't already, we will be putting if you haven't already, please join the Discord. We'll approve you guys as quickly as possible. We will be putting those trading cards, quote unquote, which is the G11 and Nagant revolver. We'll be making those available for everybody to download and look at if they want to. So again, if you want the link to the Discord, go to the panels below and click Discord. And there we go.
And since we have time, like I don't know, quite a bit of time, Q&A. Ask
Yep.
anything you want, really. If you want to
say
be
that'd
meme,
be
go
fair.
right ahead.
Yeah. And these questions don't have to particularly pertain to GFL. They can be personal questions. I don't personally care. I don't know about them.
Pretty much.
Bonk ass.
And-
Personal.
And you can also ask any of our moderators as well as the staff from GFL Corner. The people from GFL, just a quick shout out to GFL Corner. They have been instrumental in helping us out with our podcast. We want to make sure we are giving you guys correct information. So a lot of the information that we give you guys is approved through them. So they approve the information and they tell us if it's good, bad, whatever it is. And we cannot thank them enough. And there's the site, gflcorner.com by Terrasea. So they got some really good guides and information. Go check them out.
That one's debatable, Kiona. That's debatable.
Is Contender a dude? All T-dolls are female.
For now.
Pega.
I have a
Pega.
Here's another one.
Wait,
Craze, why do you sound like a child?
Oh,
I already no. Okay, that's a personal thing because that guy has already heard my previous mic, and I really do sound different. So leave that one aside. That's a guy from a different.
G36 or sub mod behind Vector.
Maybe
I
it's-
would say
oh,
G36.
I would say G36 because they can both buff Vector. I mean, Sapo buffs the 3 tiles in front of her. Assuming Sapo's in the 4 position, she can buff all the tiles in front of her, and then you just put G36 in the other position, which will just buff directly in front of her.
Oh wait.
So they can both buff her.
Oh, here's a good question from Gaish. What's the goal and standard for each class of T-doll? That's a pretty good one to answer.
That is a very good question. So
It's
first
also
thing,
difficult when it comes to handguns, though.
so let's think about what handguns are mainly there for. So the main general purpose of handguns is support. They are there to buff everyone. So what is a handgun that is great at buffing everyone and supports the team? If we have to pick this out, I would say Contender.
Well, Rod.
Okay.
I'd also say Wallrod because she fits into like any team except machine guns.
Like I always see Contender as like more of a boss rush kind of doll because literally her ability focuses down bosses pretty much. But for general use, I would say Wild Rod because decreasing enemy accuracy is like universally good.
Hmm.
And then the
All
gold
right.
standard for airs right now in EN is literally G11.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
now.
G11 is the current top tier.
Okay.
SMGs,
I'd
UMP
say
45 for
UMP
main tank
45. I agree.
and
UMP 45.
Vector for off tank
Yeah,
would be.
the molly and the smoke grenade and stuff. The stats.
Also the tile buffs.
Yeah,
Vector
yeah.
Oh
gives a
yeah,
25%
UMP
rate
45
of
is
fire buff.
excellent tile buffs.
Yeah, and UMP 40, yeah, she has a 30% critical, or sorry, 30% damage and 20% critical inner tiles.
Rifles.
And then rifles, yes. So rifles are put into two camps. There's
Yeah.
mainly the buffers and then the bamboos. They all have the same tile buff. The only difference with the tile buffs is the how much they reduce the handgun for handguns.
I would
Reduce
like
the
I would
cooldown
like to
for
add a
handguns.
third category, and that is IWS.
Okay, she is IW says special.
Yeah, but
She's
okay, so-
I still
technically like
consider
a spamboo. Spamboo.
all right. So I would agree with you if she was useful for any content in EN right now, but she literally has no
Oh
use
no
in
no,
EN.
she is not a standard. Definitely not a standard. We're just saying that she has a skill that's not a self buffing or a bamboo.
But she is not nearly a gold standard in any case right now.
No, she is not a gold standard. I would say if you're choosing for if you're talking about self buffing rifles, I would have to pick WA2K or SVD as one of those two, as they have very good buffs for themselves, buffing the rate of fire, and they can just clear through mobs like no one's business. And if
Also,
you're
another
talking,
thing to mention is that bamboo rifles are very. They should only be used to target bosses, and right now there isn't that much of a point in
Yeah.
farming bosses
Bamboos aren't
until
useful right now, really. Like they can be fun to use. I can attest to that, but they're not really that useful right now.
and if you do have bamboos, I do recommend having the skill set to force manual. That way you can choose when this skill activates, as opposed to having it auto be automatically done. So having it force manual is something that new players should also consider for certain skills. Like skills that I keep on force manual are invincibility shields, such as Suomi's, Thompson's, MP5s. Their skills, which are the invincibility shields, I put on force manual, and bamboos, I put those as force manuals. Don't you guys agree?
For
Oh,
the most
Suomi
part,
does
yeah.
not. I'm thinking of G36C. G36C. My apologies. Suomi does not have invincibility.
Yeah, she just has
Suomi has
massive.
she's just a
Ooh,
better
she
she
item.
has she has huge HP because Suomi is a face tanker, like all the other invincibility shielders, but she has a evasion boost.
Technically, Thompson is the biggest face tanker.
She is a
Yeah.
very
She
big
has the
face
highest
tanker.
HP out of every SMG in the game.
But Suomi, she's built for face tanking, and that's why I keep thinking she is. But no, she does
But
not. My mistake. My apologies.
but back to
Also,
rifles though.
no, okay. I think we're done with rifles, but I think we should move on to
Oh,
the
I was gonna
MGs
say
and stuff.
M14.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
M14?
Yeah, she's basically the face of M4 of the rifles. Because let's be real here.
She's a
She's
3-star with
now.
like 5-star usefulness.
Yeah,
And
she's
Yeah,
still
there's-
used.
that's true.
And some trivia, she's like the Rambo gun, as one of my moderators, Solum, he brought up that she is the Rambo gun because she's a low rarity gun, but she packs quite a punch. And oh, Dabina says, "Can we get some love? Can we give Sten some love?"
Sten's
No.
good for early game.
No.
Yikes.
No love for Sten.
What you
Well,
mean,
that's
Sten's
because
amazing?
well, Sten she has a grenade, it's just a regular old Yolden damage grenade.
Not very good.
Sten can get love when she gets a mod 3.
Yeah, what face?
Well, she's good. She's good for the early game. I actually want to do I actually want one of our topics to be for future reference. I want us to feature Sten and Scorpion together because they're both early game SMGs that everyone gets access to. So I actually do want to do a podcast with those two as our featured dolls sometime.
Okay,
We'll
but
talk about it.
talking about MGs though, there's not really a gold standard. There's like multiple because of
Okay.
Big Four.
You got the big
There-
four.
Yeah, there's the big four. Well, one of
That's
them
pretty
is
much it.
hit or miss, and that's M2HB.
I guess they
Like,
never
she's-
miss, huh?
Please no.
Like she has the same passive as like MG5 and PK, but her general damage output isn't. I would say just because of tile buffs, it would be a tie between MG5 and PKP, and that would only whoever wins depends solely on PKP's RNG.
And then we have shotguns, I believe the last one we have. Currently, the best shotgun on EN is SAT-8, and I believe she stays relevant as a very good shotgun for a very long time, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she's still the best shotgun in the other
I'm
server.
pretty sure about that too. I'm pretty sure Gramps can attest to this as well, and the mess if
Oh,
I
not
don't have
KSG.
either of the 5-star shotguns, so I'm going to stay out of this conversation.
Yeah, me neither. I don't have
Uh,
SAT-8, I don't have KSG, I don't have M37, I don't have USAS.
I
Just
mean, to be
get them.
fair, I don't roll SGs either, so we're kind of way over our heads here, boys. But who cares?
To be honest,
true.
at the content we have now, any shotgun would be good. You don't really need to aim for
A certain
the
one.
big wonders like KSG or SAT 8. You can just use any shotgun. For now.
But later on, you might want to try to get those other ones. But yeah, can't we luck sack any harder? I mean, I only have 3 shotguns, guys. Didn't you see the picture I posted? I only have 3 shotguns at level 90
I'm
or higher.
only
5
missing
5.
3 shotguns, and shut up.
All right, so let's wrap this up. We're about at the end of our podcast here. So one last thing is, what is our favorite skin for a T-Doll? We already know Diablitos. So Diablito, we know your favorite is the lolly skin for MP40, right?
I can't confirm or deny that because I may or may not go to jail.
What do you
He has the
mean?
right
What do
to
you
remain
mean?
silent. He has the right to remain silent.
If I say anything, 5 is gonna be on me immediately, bro.
All right, what about you, Corsage? What's your favorite T-Doll skin?
I talked about this during stream earlier.
Oh yeah, yep, the PX4 Christmas skin.
PX4, yep, Christmas live to D skin.
It's
We
She's a
don't talk
cutie.
about PSR here, all right? Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a Shima doesn't like T-Dolls with huge tracts of land. He likes his
Tracts of
T-Dolls
land.
he likes T-Dolls like he likes his surfboards.
I don't like plot guns, all right?
I have no favorite skin, honestly. Though my waifu doesn't have a skin, and I'm very sad.
Well, yeah, she's not around for very long, so makes
It's all
sense.
about Lolly Grizz.
Pepe
Probably
hands.
Grizzly.
Ruby
Well,
doesn't have a skin either.
yeah,
Pepe.
Ruby doesn't have one. That's
I mean, we
sad,
can talk about
sad.
the default
She
skin,
never
right?
will.
She never will.
Well, she's dying, so she's currently dying. So
Well, the artist
we don't-
doesn't work for Mika anymore, right?
Um, I don't know about that.
Ruby.
Oh, aren't they the one who also didn't they also draw
Lee Enfield.
Lee Enfield? Yeah, they also drew Lee Enfield.
Yeah.
Made him look like
Yeah.
a guy.
And my favorite outfit, I think Shimi said for AN94, those are the bikini skin.
No, A94 doesn't
Oh.
have a bikini. He has a scuba suit.
Oh, scuba suit. So that's your favorite one.
No, Lolly Grizz.
Oh, lolly. Oh, yep, you're going to jail too. Hey, can we get the police in here? We got Diablito and Shima that we'd like them to pick up.
You guys haven't ratted me out yet. I don't think you'll rat me out now.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. And my favorite is Type 64, obviously, but I like her witch skin. Her witch skin, even though it's a free skin, because it's just for login rewards for Halloween, I think a lot of love and detail went into it. And I also like the story behind it, because when you went into the cafe that we have now, you actually learned a story about it. and she's a T-doll. You learn that she's a girl that she wants to help everybody, but she doesn't want to do it directly. She wants people to know someone is looking out for them, but she doesn't have to do it herself. And she doesn't want to be on everyone's list because she's a two-star girl. Her neural cloud doesn't have as much data as opposed to the T-dolls. So it strikes me as she is the one that helps you from a distance, and that's one of the reasons why I like her.
All right, so
I think that
I
about
think
wraps
I
everything
think
up
this has
here.
been I think this has been a good cast. If we would all like to reintroduce ourselves one more time before we leave, just
Okay.
just so that we can get one more refresher before we
All
go.
right, sure. So let's
So
all
the
introduce
so the
ourselves
audience
again,
can pick their favorite.
and also be a good time to let us people know how to find us and how to contact us as well. So I'm Okami or Panda. I'm known in the Twitch community as Okami Panda in A. If you'd like, you can join the GFLcast Discord and you'll be able to see all the casters in there. If you want to DM us, ask us questions, please feel free to. Corsage or Corsage.
I'm just gonna piggyback that and say, just ping me on this. As for who I am, in terms of the podcast, mostly just like back end stuff, statistics, logistics, things like. I've been streaming recently, so if you want to come watch me play GFL, just like come to my channel.
Diablito, put that away, Diablito. Put that away right now.
Oh boy.
Had to do it to him.
Do
Oh
not put the
boy.
damaged skin on it. Do
Get
not
that
put
shit
that
outta
damaged
here.
skin there.
Had to do it to him.
You do not put that here. Alright, and then Diablito, how about you?
Everyone knows me, you know. I'm the 5-head cosmic god gamer, Diablito. Channel's the same name, Diablito. Who should you watch? Just Diablito. Just Diablito.
And then Shima.
I usually go by Shima. Channel name Shima Pandering. I'm also the contact point with our Twitter and the Discord manager. So if you have any questions via Twitter, I'll probably be the one answering them.
And then TM Craze.
I used to stream. I should stream. I don't stream. I mostly chill around in Twitch chats and mostly chill in other people's discords. Username is TM Craze. Channel name is TM Craze. Twitter account is TM Craze GFL, and I do like to do design stuff. The logo, the overlay, the banner, end screen, all made by me. So, you know, I guess I just hand this over to Yuzu at this point now.
Hi, I'm Yuzu Nagi. You can call me Yuzu.
Oh
On
snap, guys!
the-
I just got a 755 timer for my heavy production. What's
USAS.
Nice
I don't
USAS.
have USAS yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that.
let Yuzu finish. Let Yuzu finish.
I'm the data scraper for the team. In other words, I find data for you. I'm also the asset man for the podcast, working with Corsage on the back end stuff to gather information. Also, your resident meme lord. If you want a meme and if I like it, I'll make it. Also, before I end, I want to flex on Corsage a little bit. Just got another PK from 0-2.
Oh boy!
No. More streamer luck. All
I
right,
have
so
I have 4,000 runs in 0-2, and I've still only gotten one.
Just get more, dude.
I'd like to flex
4,000.
on,
Just
I'd
get
like to
more.
flex on everybody here. Still AFKing on the main menu.
to be honest, I was grinding 0-2 throughout the stream, just like you guys probably did, and probably like everybody in the chat. I'm pretty sure we all do that, just sit there and grind 0-2. But that being aside, so again, thank you all for being here and being part of our first inaugural podcast. We do hope to see you again. The next time we will be streaming will be January 19th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our topics will be including 2 more T-Dolls, as well as Arctic warfare, and what to expect, what you need, what to prepare, and just some general tips and things like that. So be ready for it. And again, thank you all for being here. This is GFLcast signing out.